Hi friends, I'm just popping in for a few minutes today to talk to you about my writing, The Time Between 4 and 85. I just posted it this morning on this Facebook page and up on my website, on my blog, and I wanted to talk to you about why I decided to post that today and what that means to me. Tomorrow will be the 1 year anniversary of my mom's passing. And I was going to write something new, and then I found this that I remembered from 4 years ago after a trip with my daughter and her twins that were 4 at the time. And we had gone to visit my mom and took a little road trip. And I remember thinking that these twins that were 4, everything that they saw was amazing to them. If they saw a ladybug, it was like the best creature they'd ever seen in the world. And everything they saw was amazing. Everything they did was an adventure. It was like they were brand new to this world, and not so much untrue since they were only 4. And it was such a joy to watch them so excited. And so we did a couple stops along our way to get to my mom's house. And then I remember driving up to my mom's driveway to her house, and she was 85 at the time. And she came out and she clapped and she was so excited that we had arrived. And everything was wonderful to her. I remember we went to her neighborhood playground and there was these spring horses that the boys got on, and they pretended like they were cowboys, and it was the wild, wild west, and my mom was thrilled. Everything that these little boys did was like a new, amazing thing she had never seen before. Everything we did together was a new adventure. And I remember thinking that my daughter and I were trapped somewhere, or maybe trapped isn't the word, but we found ourselves somewhere in time between being 4 years old and being 85. And in that space of time, because the boys thought everything was amazing and brand new and wonderful, my mom thought everything was amazing and brand new and wonderful. And so it was quite a place to realize that we were in between the two spaces, in between the two ages. And what happens between 4 and 85, we all know we get really busy in life and we're trying to climb the corporate ladder and break the glass ceilings and do all these things that we do to be successful as adults. And we forget that everything is new and everything is amazing and wonderful. And we don't see it anymore because we're so busy. But somehow, when you're very young and somehow when you're very mature, you see it. And I remember what a fascination that was when I came home and I thought about that trip and thought about everything that happened and the lessons that I had learned. The boys were so amazed when they saw a ladybug and they would let it crawl up their arm, and I learned that that is amazing. I learned that when my mom started clapping when we drove up in her driveway, that when family comes to see you, it deserves an applause. It deserves happiness. And I learned so much on that trip from 4-year-olds and from an 85-year-old. And I learned so much about where I was in life and what I needed to pay attention to a little bit more. Tomorrow, as I said, will be the first anniversary. It's been 1 year since my mom passed away. And I remember her standing in that driveway clapping when we arrived. She was so happy to see us. Something that I learned just yesterday was a technique that I think is valuable, and I plan to use it. And that is, when you think about someone who has passed, so many times it makes us sad. And I think as the years go on, we learn to remember happy memories about them, and maybe it becomes a little more of a thoughtful process. Instead of just sadness, you start to remember them with a smile and maybe not so many tears, although I think tears are healing and very helpful. But so many times, especially if the person was ill or it was a tragic passing, that's what we remember. And so if we can visualize our loved one in a happy space, if we can visualize them doing something that they loved, if we can visualize them smiling and their laughter and their sound of their laugh, and don't visualize them in those last painful days if they were in pain or whatever the circumstance is, don't visualize that. Visualize where they were the happiest. And so tomorrow, I am going to concentrate on my mom standing in that driveway and clapping when we arrived, and the happiness in her smile, and how thrilled she was to see us, and how happy she was to see children when they giggled and when they laughed, and how that made her happy. That is how I will choose to think of her tomorrow on the first anniversary of her passing. So I shared this writing with you. I truly believe, I said in the writing, that life goes as quick as a dandelion wish. And when you see a little one blow a dandelion and you teach them how to do that and make a wish, and all of the dandelion seeds float in the air so quickly and they're gone. That is how life is. And so I think we need to pay attention to the ladybugs, let them crawl up our arm. We need to applaud when family and loved ones come to see us. We need to be more aware of life and what makes us smile and what makes other people happy, and the laughter and the joy. And so that is why I shared that with you. I hope that as you read it, you think of my mom, the Fernster. I wrote about her many times. She did a lot of videos with me, so if you followed me for a while, you know the Fernster. You've met her up close and personal. And so tomorrow, join me in thinking of her and visualize her clapping and that applause she gave when she was so happy to see someone that she loved. And I think that's probably what she's still doing today. So enjoy the writing. If you haven't read it yet, I always put the link with this video. And there's pictures. If you go, you can read it just on Facebook with one picture, but if you follow the link and go to my blog, there's a picture of the Fernster, a picture of the boys on their bouncy horses, and it's a fun thing to see. So I hope that you enjoy reading it. Let me know what you think. I always love to hear from you all, and think of my mom, the Fernster, tomorrow. This has been Pennie Heart to Heart. Thanks for watching.